have a good support system. You know I say good system.
Hi, Michael's doing.
My name is Claudia. I'm bilateral hearing loss and currently injured on my right. So on my left I have profound hearing loss and on my right I have severe hearing loss.
Hi, I'm Wenning. I'm profound hearing loss. I wear hearing aid on my left and cochlear implant on my right. Yeah, I got my implant when I was 15.
Yeah. Hi, I am Sebrina and I am a hard of hearing and I do know of basic of sign language and I'm wearing both type of hearing aids.
Hi, I'm Patricia. I have profound hearing loss on both ears. I'm wearing cochlear implant on my right and hearing aid on my left.
Hi, I'm Adeline. I have profound hearing loss on my both sides and I'm wearing a cochlear implant on my left side. And welcome to our very first episode of Michael's Theory. I will be your host for today and we will be talking about general assumptions of deaf or hard of hearing individuals that you guys have answered from our Instagram poll. So let's go! Here is our first question. How do deaf or hard of hearing individuals learn driving? Who has a driving license?
I used to have.
Okay, Adeline and I, we apply for driving test and I feel that there is no difference. We try to inform to the instructor that we are deaf or hard of hearing. So I really appreciate that the instructor will show us the hand sign. For example, it will be like like that or like that, like that. Then we just follow. Okay?
Thank you, Sebrina. Do you guys think that it is frustrating to communicate with hearing people?
Rather than saying it's frustrating, I feel disappointment is a better description. For example, whenever hearing people say never mind and give up repeating what they said previously for about 2 to 3 times, I feel disappointed. But I wouldn't feel bad because they have to repeat the same thing again just so I can understand. I personally feel that we frustrate the hearing people more by asking them to repeat. However, I or we cannot apologize for something we have no control over because we are trying our best. There are always ways to help us understand you better, such as typing on the phone or writing on the paper. This can help reduce the number of times you have to repeat for us.
Yeah, so I agree with Patricia. Really do appreciate that. Hearing people really don't mind to repeat the wherever I ask them to repeat.
Definitely very frustrating due to COVID-19 because everyone is smarter, right? Then my usual mode of communicating got disrupted. Since I heavily rely on lip reading, then I feel like very irritated, like because I cannot catch any of the words.
That's true.
Yeah, very frustrating.
Do you guys have a good support system?
Not really, although there were some people that have helped and supported in some way. I did not last very long. So to be honest, right, I feel that the society today is still not very aware on how to approach people like us. If there was a good system, right, I think the five girls still will not need to exist.
I think for me mostly yes and no because not everybody has the opportunity to find their own support system. And for our batch, right, when we were growing up through primary school and secondary school together, right, there was educational support. But once we actually graduate and go to JC or uni or poly, right, there is no such support that was available for us. So not many of us are actually able to find groups of friends who are willing to accommodate us in clarifying certain things, note taking for us during lectures and lessons as well. And so it can be quite of a struggle going through life without a good support system lah.
For me, right, I personally don't feel I had a good support system during my JC time. For example, I would like initially request for teacher to use the transmitter during class, and this transmitter right will like stream their voice directly to my cochlear implant. But however, like some teacher like would refuse to wear it, you know.
Wow.
I don't know why, but they refuse to wear it. Then they say right, but the microphone, like the loudspeaker microphone, will be loud enough for me to hear them. Then I also will be like automatically be restricted to do certain activities in foggy waters because I could not like hear through without the cochlear implant. Like not fair leh.
I mean same lah. Same.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Moving on, do you all go through Singapore education system normally?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, so.
Okay. I think I go through normally, but it's hard when there's a lack of awareness in the educational environment. Good discussion are always the hardest part for me because I am unable to follow multiple competition like this. Then you also very hard to try to compensate for what I have no control over.
Yeah, I agree. We can all pursue further studies like until poly or university, just like everyone else. But it comes with various struggles. For example, communication barrier with our friends and even teachers. There is also a huge lack of depth access, such as there's no caption in videos shared during the lectures or lessons.
So but really, why do you not think that we are able to like perform right? Because technically we are still able to cope, and we are actually able to perform as well in academics as anybody else. But we do struggle along the way, even though we may or may not show it. So I think from the time where we were in school until now, right, like accessibility has improved quite a lot, but I think a lot more can be done because these educational supports are mostly concentrated during primary and secondary school. But once you graduate from it into like a tertiary education, we don't have that same support. Yeah, and I think it's much more difficult to advocate and find individualized support when we move on to tertiary education because we all have different interests and we are all in different causes, so it's a bit hard to do that also. Yeah.
Just to clarify, we are sharing our personal experience back when in primary and secondary school. Things may be different now because we have been out of touch for 8 years now. So I have a question for you all. Do you guys take listening comprehension and over during your school days?
Okay, for me lah.
To be honest, why I really cannot remember in the past. Really cannot remember. You know.
I think personally for me, because I was mainstream before I joined connection school and meet the girls, I have undergone like listening, comprehend, oral, and it wasn't a very positive experience lah. Because obviously I cannot hear, right? So but when we were in connection school, sitting for our PSLE, right, we did an adapted version of the listening, comprehend, and the oral. So for the listening, comprehend, right, our teacher will actually wear the transmitter and she will read out sentences. Yeah, and then we will just write what we hear lah. Yeah, the same thing lah, same thing. It's just that she read out, and we are able to lip read, like physically. So yeah.
Yeah.
I hate listening comprehension so much.
I agree, me too. We were attempted to do listening comprehension and oral in secondary school. It reminds me I want to share this story that really helped me a lot. So what happened was, one of the English teacher that have taught me in secondary 4 have taught me to do listening comprehension.
10 seconds later.
Is it the same teacher that I also know? I
Yeah.
think it's the same. Okay, then I know. Okay.
For the first time I did the listening comprehension, I failed. But then after first practice, right, the teacher still forced me to practice again together with the class. I don't know why. And then I remember feeling very distressed, not knowing how to answer, and almost cried.
Wow.
I felt very alone in a sense that I was the only one struggling in class.
Wow.
Thank you, Patricia, for sharing your story. It's not easy for you. Do you feel insecure about your hidden disability which affects your daily life?
I probably do lah.
I'm sure you do.
I mean, it's a very similar struggle that I think anybody in hearing loss will experience, right? Yeah, but I think I myself personally feel very constantly left out of conversation because I cannot keep up. Yeah. So,
Yeah, then usually right, I don't tell hearing people about my hearing disability until they tell me, hey, where are you come from? For example, are you from Thailand or Vietnam or what? For example, then I feel, but to be honest, I don't take it too hard. As there's nothing for me, I cannot do anything with my deaf extent. I mean, like cannot change to my deaf extent. At least, yeah. Sorry, kak.
Do you feel that your other sense heightened despite your hearing loss?
No, thank God is it.
I think that the only best skill we gain is being able to repeat from a distance or in a place where no talking is required.
personally for me, generally like my sense of sight has heightened a little bit because like I need to always compensate for my hearing loss, right? So I'm always very visually aware and things. Yeah, but I think not everybody has that sense heightened lah. Yeah.
What is your response to this when a hearing person think that it's hard to communicate with you all?
It will be great if the hearing people can learn signs, just basics will do. And I recommend learning signs from the deaf people because the signs are more accurate and more relevant to the deaf community.
But not all those sign language.
I think I myself I'm not very fluent in sign language. Yeah.
Well, it's even harder for us to distinguish every sound, tone, or even language, and then we are still trying to hear or communicate with you. So why not you guys at least learn some sign or at least write down some
Notes.
paper or
Yeah.
this. Right?
Agree.
Here is the last two questions. How do you listen to music?
Very good question.
In previous for people with different levels of hearing loss. Some enjoy, some don't at all. So for me, right, with my cochlear implant, I can hear and enjoy music. I am a dancer myself from definition. It's a Singapore deaf dance school. Yeah.
Wow, so cool.
For me, like I'm not a fan of music, and this mostly mumbles for me. And then I don't get any word of the lyrics. Yeah.
I listen to music via like my Roger device. So like it works by streaming the music right into my hearing aid. Anyway, so generally I can still hear my music as long as I have my hearing aid on. But I think when I go to public places, right, I can't really hear the music. Like it doesn't really register. So it usually just like everybody will be just like, yeah, be like,
Yeah.
Also using the NTFP, but until then I also heard there is the new technology which is called OTCon that trim music to my hearing aid. I'm having a good life right now. Yeah.
Here is the last question. What can you share without your hearing aid or cochlear implants?
for me, I can only hear like very loud sounds. So like without my hearing aid, right, I depend visually on lip reading. Yeah, so I don't hear conversation.
For me, there's nothing.
But I think it's a blessing to be deaf at night so that I don't have to hear any strange sound.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, to me, I also agree with Kaidia. Most of the time, I only can hear the loud stuff, especially like aeroplane, those like, the car horn, those kind.
Okay, for me, right, it's a complete silence except I can hear the planes flying above us.
Thank you, everyone who have contributed your answer to our Instagram poll, and thank you, ladies, for clarifying. We hope that all of you learned something new. Regardless of wisdom you identify as a person with hearing loss, we all should embrace our different yet similar struggles.
Yeah.
We have now come to end of this episode. Do leave us a comment if you have enjoyed this episode. If you have any question, let us know what we should cover next in this series. Do like, share, and subscribe for more content. You can find us on Instagram below.
Yeah.
Together until next time.
Bye. And also, I would like to say thank you to my yearly friends.
Thank you.
Woo!
Is Sebrina single?
Huh?
I mean, if you're interested, please slide into her DM. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.